Hey, my book lovelies, welcome back to my channel. And today I thought I'd go through some of my most underrated books that I've read this year. And by underrated, I mean the least reviews on Goodreads, which I am shocked by some of these. So let's dive in and I'll tell you if it's a book that's worth reading and why it's the most underrated. Like, honestly, some of these will shock you to the core. And I'm so excited to go through them because I've read 128 books already this year. And we're doing pretty well. My goals are around 200, so we're doing pretty good so far. Maybe I need to up it to 250, we'll see. But let's dive in. So just for reference, The Deal by Elle Kennedy, which came out in 2015, has 1.2 million ratings on Goodreads. So I'm basing it off ratings. 1.2 million, which is a lot. So you're going to be able to see in comparison to that how small some of these numbers are. But I just thought I'd have to give like a book that everyone knows is very popular at the moment, just as a So the first one is The Last Sunrise by Anna Todd. This has 3,700 ratings on Goodreads, which is tiny considering it is Anna Todd who wrote the After series. And this has been picked up for a TV or film adaptation. I think it's a film. This book came out in, I like to see this because I think that's a good representation of it, in 2025, in fairness. So it hasn't been out that long, and that might be why it wasn't on my radar. So in this book, you meet a girl called Araya. She has some form of illness, but you can see it's there, but it's kind of not implied what that illness is as you're kind of working your way through the series, the book. You start to understand a little bit more about her. She's gone with her mother on holiday where her mother is going to be working, and it is to, I want to say Mallorca. And I've just read this, so I should know. I'm pretty sure it is Mallorca, and she's going to break free from her mother, have the summer of her life, maybe have a little bit of a romantic interest, and it could potentially all go wrong. This had drama, it had spice, it had tension, it had tears. I can see why they're going to make The Last Sunrise a film, because it's got everything you would need for a film. I have seen there's a trailer, so I may have to go and watch it. I always like to read the book first before I even watch the trailer, so I don't get images in my head of who the characters are. The only thing I would say, it's not dual point of view, so it's all from her point of view, which keeps it a little bit more secretive, keeps things a little bit more under lock and key, and when the author wants you to know something, she will tell you something. I haven't read many books recently that aren't dual point of view, so I always find it really odd switching into that space. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I read it in a day. It was a really hot sunny day. It was lovely to read. It's nice to explore like the mother-daughter relationship as well, and how it works and doesn't work in certain situations. So yeah, and obviously the love interest was great because he's a little bit grump to her sunshine, and she's not even that sunny, so I feel like it's a grump to a grumpier. But yeah, really definitely recommend getting this on your TBR before the film comes out. I always say read the books before the film and see how good the adaptation is, because a lot of people have been watching off campus before reading them, and I'm like, oh, but the books are so good. So yeah, definite yes for me on this one, but I was shocked at how little rating it had and how little people knew about it. The next one actually surprised me. So this is Bulletproof. It had 6,998 ratings, so nearly 7,000. I know it's only just come out this year, but I thought K.M. Moranova would have had a bigger amount of books read, just from the fact people have had proofs and all that sort of thing. I guess it is technically the fourth book in her series, but I loved this. So you have Briar and Roman. This is more small-town romance. I know a lot of people rated this one a lot lower than the rest of her series because it didn't feel as dark military. The small-town romance elements I definitely struggled with myself at first, but once I settled into the book and realised it was going to be a little bit different, she had tweaked it a little bit from her other books for obvious reasons, I really enjoyed this book. I also love the sprayed edge. So Briar is a girl who is on the run from her past, and you start to work out what this past of hers is, and maybe there's some extra secrets that you won't work out. I definitely took a while to work out the extra secrets. I did get there, but it took me a while. And her uncle's just passed away. She's been left his farm, so she's going to go tidy it up, sell it, make some money, and I guess keep going on the run. Little did she know that the town her uncle's in has the dark military kind of embedded into it. They're doing this secret mission, and she's about to meet Roman, who is probably one of the most unhinged K.M. Moranova men I've ever met. He's so different to the other ones. Like, the other ones didn't say I'm normal, whereas he like tries to portray himself as normal, but he is so cold and cruel and unhinged, and I absolutely loved it. And I do think, in fairness, this one probably has less ratings on Goodreads just because the fact it only came out this year. But I love this book, and I think more of you should read it, so hence I'm going to put it on my underrated. I'm going to be like, yep, you do need to read this one. And it's dual point of view as well, and the artwork inside, if you are a K.M. Moranova fan, you know she does the most beautiful artwork inside of her books, so you do get a good amount of artwork in this one as well, but definitely get this one straight onto your TBR if you haven't read it. Then we have the Obsidian Order from Morgan Bridges, 15,000 and 11,000-ish. And this is a duology. The reason I want to include this one is I think it's very underrated, but it is about to be traditionally published, I believe. So I think maybe the ratings will pick up at that point. If you like the Lord series by Chantal Tessier, you are going to adore this one. So you have the main character, they call her the bride, Delilah, and she is in a situation where she's very close to her foster brother, and he's gone off to his university, and she thinks, I'm going to go off there. I'm going to be with him, maybe potentially even romantically. They've kind of always worked on this border of should they be together or not? Is it wrong? Is it right? You know, borderline inappropriate. And she finds herself in a situation where she meets Xavier, who is part of this secret society that her foster brother's just joined. And Xavier turns her world upside down. There's this thing called a bride hunt, and he gets her as his bride. That's not really a spoiler. I feel like you can tell the story's going to go there. But this was the most I've ever felt like I was reading Chantal Tessier, but it didn't feel repetitive. Like if I sat and reread the Lord series, I think I'd find it a little bit repetitive for me. So this was the closest I've ever felt to that without feeling like I knew what was happening, I knew what was coming. It's still different, but that secret society college setting with some very unhinged men I love. It does also have artwork inside. I'm hoping they keep the artwork in the trad versions. I know Morgan Bridges has a few books that keeps the artwork in the trad versions, so I am hoping they do that with this one. But yeah, absolutely love this duology. I devoured it in one weekend. It came out in 2024, so that's why it's probably got a little bit more reviews and ratings than anything else, but I still think it is severely underrated and not many people know about it, so definitely recommend getting this one on your TBR. Then we have Blood and Roses by Kelly Hart, 7,400 reviews or ratings. No, it is ratings, not reviews. And this one has only just come out this year, but I thought Kelly Hart was going to get more love. So she was originally an indie published dark romance author, then she got a trad published dark romantasy series, which you guys love, Quicksilver. You absolutely devour that series, you eat it up. I'm so shocked that more of you haven't then picked up Blood and Roses, and maybe you're a little bit scared too. It is dark, it does have trafficking in, but it's done in such a sensible way that you can cope with it, if that makes sense. And the artwork, again, I just think I like books of artwork. But I was really surprised because this has been everywhere. Like, I've even seen this in my local Asda. Like, that's how much it's been everywhere. So you meet this girl called Sloane. Her sister has gone missing, and she's adamant that her sister's been trafficked. She's of a certain age, she's of a certain look. She just thinks, why would she have gone missing and not been sex trafficked? And she meets this guy who is called Zeth, and he's involved with like the drug lords, the drug world, substances. He'll deal in guns, arms, anything. What he won't deal in is trafficking. And she finds herself in a situation where he's going to help her, but maybe she realizes he's a little bit more intertwined in this world. I also have to say that the ending of this book, I need book 2 straight away. Maybe that's why it hasn't got as many ratings, but I need book 2 straight away because it was so feral. So feral, that ending. I didn't see it coming. It shocked me. I was physically screaming at the book. Are you kidding me? Like, such a good ending. Like, Kelly Hart knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. And this ending, it was just so good. It was so good. So yeah, definitely recommend getting this one on your TBR and adding your rating to Goodreads. Then we have Pieces of the Night by Jennifer Hartman, which has just over 6,000 ratings. Again, it has just come out this year, but I think people sleep on Jennifer Hartman. I don't think people realise. Also Irreversible, which I'll show on the screen, that one had quite limited reviews as well, and that is such a good book. Maybe it's just a little bit harder to get your hands on. So this one is about a girl. She's got a boyfriend. It's not the healthiest relationship, I have to say. They've got issues. They've got a few issues. And she's found herself in a situation where she's met this guy in a very unusual circumstance. When you read the first few chapters, you're going to be like, how this friendship survived the way they met. I don't know. She's a very forgiving person, obviously. And she realises maybe there is light on the end of the tunnel. Maybe there's something better out there. It involves music, rock stars, there's trauma. It just has everything. It is a chunky one, so I don't know if that's put people off, because like compared to Still Beating, it is a lot chunkier. But I honestly love this, and I just think, if you are a Jennifer Hartman fan, did you even know Pieces of the Night was out yet? Have you missed it from your TBR? Like, what's led to this? And then obviously Irreversible, which I mentioned, that one is harder to get your hands on. That's about a woman who is held captive because they want to harvest her eggs and sell them on the black market. Yeah. It's that unhinged. It's not too dark, but obviously the trauma and the story woven into that is intense, and that one had just under 13,000 ratings, which again, that one's been out for a little bit longer, I feel like. So I'm a little bit surprised that that one didn't have more, but maybe for being indie published versus the trad versions, maybe people just need a little bit more Jennifer Hartman in their life. I think you need a little bit more Jennifer Hartman, so definitely pick this one up at least. And this is when I realised that my social media shows me things I like, because why have I seen Dragon Cursed everywhere, has a beautiful sprayed edge, and it's got 3,600 ratings. I have seen this everywhere. I don't follow enough people that probably would read this book. Like, I follow doc romance, all this things like that, and this was all over my TikTok. I couldn't get away from this book, so I'm like, are people just not going into Goodreads and rating? Like, maybe that's where I'm going wrong. But this book was amazing, and I'm feral for book 2. Like, I need the next in the series. It's about a girl called Isol, and she lives in a world where the church is kind of in control, and all of a sudden you could blow up and turn into a dragon. You could be angry, you could be hungry, you could be pushed to your limits. There's loads of reasons why you could become a dragon, and she is just like, oh, great. I'm about to be pushed to my limits. I know it's going to happen to me. I can feel it under my bones. It's got plot twists, it's got drama, it's got tension. It has romance, but I have to say romance is definitely the subplot. It definitely focuses more on the fantasy elements. The trials are amazing. The deceit is amazing. The people she doesn't want to trust but should trust, and vice versa. Like, you go through this whole journey with her, and I just think this is such a good book, and more of you need to read it. And I know it just came out this year, but look, it's so pretty as well. Like, how can you not have this one on your shelf? If you like fantasy or if you like dragons, get this one on your TBR straight away. I'm watching you. This one might shock you because it's non-fiction, but 6,000 for When Gavin Met Stacy and everything in between. I am probably the biggest Gavin and Stacy fan. Like, there's probably no one bigger Gavin and Stacy fan than me. Just saying. Why are people not picking this book up and rating it? It was so good. It tells you the backstory as to how the TV series happened. It's got fun little things about while they were filming. It's got little pictures inside. Like, oh, when Gavin and Stacy ended, I have never cried so much in my life. I sat there, I weeped at that final episode, and I was like, it's over. There's no more Gavin and Stacy. Like, there's no way, there's nothing left untold. There's no way they need to bring it back. There's no way they need to go through this again. But I wasn't okay to leave that world behind. Like, I'm generally the type of person, I'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't sleep, I will put Gavin and Stacy on my telly in the background because I know it word for word. It's comfort now for me. And diving back into the world and reading the interview kind of style from Ruth Jones and James Corden, who obviously play Nessa and Smithy, turn your brain on, Mills. It was just so lovely to be back in this world. It was just everything I needed and more. And I just think 6,000. Like, so many of you tuned in for that final episode. Did you know there's a book? I actually got my sister to get this one for me in the airport, so it's not even the hardback. It just, pride and joy, this book. It's kept in a very special place. I'm holding up book 2, but I'm actually going to be talking about book 1. I don't know where I've put book 1. This is true me. But 840 people have rated book 1, which is called Knight Rider. Sorry, we love cowboys. Do people not know about Sloane Fletcher? Sloane Fletcher writes cowboys with trauma in the best way possible. I haven't read a cowboy book that drew me in as much as this. Maybe Gemma Moore as well. I'd say they're kind of on par with each other. They have this underlining trauma. It's not just all sunshines and rainbows. Like, it's true trauma. This is about a woman who's been attacked in her house. She's famous. She goes off to a ranch and she meets a cowboy. But she obviously has all this like underlining trauma inside of her. And it's absolutely 10 out of 10. Amazing. Couldn't put it down. Cried, screamed, loved it. Spice. It's got everything. It's got everything, and cowboys on top. And I just think, I'm worried now. I'll have a look later to see how many I'll put on the screen. Blue Devil Woman has, because obviously this one's only just come out. But this one I think has something to do with a pregnancy or a miscarriage trope. So again, she's definitely going down the trauma route. But yeah, if you haven't come across this author, she is so good. She is so good, and I think more people need to be reading her. Everybody talks about Elsie Silver. I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done with talking about Elsie Silver. I feel like we've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. We don't need any more of the sameness. This woman does it differently, and I love her for it. And then last but not least is Sophie Hamilton. This is More Than Nothing. I love this. Elaine, I never know how to pronounce her name. She is from a family where they're kind of despised in the town that they live in. So she has a stepfather and stepbrothers who go around, cause havoc, sell substances, and if you report them to the police, they'll burn your house down. Like, that's the way they behave. And then she gets involved with Roman, who is the chief of police in the town, and they're going to bring her family down. It's romantic suspense, it's slow burn, it's small town, it's perfect. She's also written 2 more books in the series, so you've got Every Reason Why, and then the newest one, Edge of Falling. But this one has less than 6,000 ratings. Obviously, these ones will have less than that. And I just think Sophie Hamilton needs more love. I love this author. I do think everybody should be celebrating her. And if you're not, my question is why? We do. We're playing that. Why not picking it up? If you like Catherine Cowles as well, you will love Sophie Hamilton. It gives very similar vibes to her Across the Vanishing Sky. Turn your brain on. Across the Vanishing Sky. And I just think it is so good. It is more slow burn than some people like, but I like a slow burn when it's a small town and they've got a task to do and there's crime involved and there's police involved. Like, you've got to take the romance a little bit slower. So yeah, definitely make sure you get these ones straight on your TBR. I'm hoping we're going to get more in the Pine Springs world, but I actually don't know. But these 3 also are Montlake, so you know I have an obsession. If you didn't know, I have an obsession with collecting this specific brand of book. I just love it. So yeah, definitely get Sophie Hamilton straight onto your TBR now, please and thank you. So that brings us to the end of some of the most underrated books that I've read personally in 2026. Let me know if you've read any of them in the comments, or what your most underrated book on Goodreads is, because we need to shout about the books we love the most, and I loved all of those ones. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you're notified when I post each Sunday, and have a lovely start to the last day of May. See you guys next week.